What's up, dudes? So as promised, we're gonna do some configurations for nftables. I have already made two videos about firewalls and security for Gentoo, some of the basic stuff like firewall D and IP tables, and now it's time to jump into nftables. For nftables it may be a little different, since for IP tables my assumption is that it is pre-installed. It comes pre-installed with your system. For nftables I don't think it is. For nftables it is recommended to install, since it is said here it should be replaced with its successor nftables for IP tables, which is the predecessor of nftables. Some of the wiki pages and some of the help pages about configuring some of the software that requires opening a specific port in the firewall comes with some commands to open those ports using IP tables. The problem for nftables, at least from what I've seen, is that there is a package available for some Linux distributions that whenever you run any, or whenever you find any packet, any port to be open using IP tables, you take the command and you run it, and it translates it into nftables command. So it's like you are using nftables with the syntax of IP tables. Such thing I've seen it, I guess, on Debian or somewhere else. I'm not sure where. But let's check. Yes, it's IP tables nft. We need to see if this command exists on Gentoo, in Gentoo repositories. IP tables nft home EIXR. Yes, doesn't exist. This is unfortunate. Otherwise, we may need to understand the new concepts for nftables, as long as they are different with IP tables. If they aren't, the only thing you need to do is to change to the syntax of the commands of nftables. Here it says that an IP tables, whenever used, it should be replaced with the successor nftables. This wiki page comes with a deep explanation about the different things for nftables. You may need to read it and understand it well. This is, for example, the configuration hierarchy. You understand here different stuff. This thing may be a little bit more known, even for the least people that have some basic knowledge about IT. For chains and stuff, you may need to read about it, and so on. As usual, the configurations depend on your kernel choice. If you're using a source kernel, you may need to go and start with the configurations of the kernel. You should run sudo -i to become root, to simplify things the maximum possible. You change directory to /usr/src/linux, and then make menu config. You can run here make xconfig if you are on your this using your computer directly. I'm through SSH, connected through SSH, that's why I cannot run it. We can try if you want, and we will get an error. It will say there is no display. Yeah, it still didn't give. Yeah, there is the error. Doesn't find any of the display. Let's go with make menu config. I'm gonna enable almost all the options as much as possible, since I believe that most of you have IPv6 and IPv4. Otherwise, if you don't want to have IPv6 support, simply do not enable these ones. Mostly this one, since this one is here repeated, they are under the same menus, and this one I'm gonna enable it, it's fine. So we go to networking options, network support, networking options, and then network packet filtering framework, net filter. This one, and then core net filter configurations, and then we start net filter connection tracking support. I believe most of these ones are enabled, so once I leave these menus, I will not get any confirmations or a confirmation about saving or not saving the new configurations. In your case, you probably did not enable these options, and I believe they don't come enabled when you first configure your kernel. So enable them one by one. Like for example, if we wanna, you need to make sure that nftables is in the keywords or the name of the parameter. Enable them one by one. For example, here for IPv6 you simply disable it. This one I have it enabled, so enable them one by one. They are mostly I guess 6 for the ones that have nftables, aside from this one alone. Some of them I have them mixed between modules and built-in. Modules you have the option to disable them anytime you want, and they will not be within the kernel directly. They are some kind of separate somehow. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we have this one enabled, this one, 3, another one, this one con limit. It's not mentioned to be enabled. So yeah, why not? Why should we enable it? Let's keep it the way it is. Masquerade limit module, have it enabled. Masquerade enabled. Not module enabled. Not dev table support. Let's look for it. Not dev. Yes. Tables. Not dev. So that one I don't find it. Sometimes it disappears from a kernel version to another. Now I'm gonna exit. As I said, make sure when you get the confirmation to confirm saving the changes, and then you run the next command is make modules prepare. You run this command. After you run it, it will not last too long, I believe few minutes maximum. Come back and then run this command, which is make minus or no space, yes, this one, dash j and the number of the threads of your choice. In my case I have chosen 10 since I have them already, and more. Otherwise, in your case, you may decide depending on the performance of your computer, and you may like it may be better for you not to use all the threads in order to be able to use a part of your computer for some other tasks, like at least monitoring the process of the compilation of your kernel. So run this command and then come back to me. The next command is uname -a as I guess, in case you want to have the verbose command of dracat. Otherwise you can simply run dracat like this. This is in case you are recompiling the same kernel. In case you want to update to a new kernel, there are some extra commands which I made the video about. If you want me, I will keep it in the description for you. And if it's a new kernel and you update to it, you should run kvar as an argument for this command, and then the version of the kernel, and then enter. In my case, since it's the same kernel, it complained like this. If it's the same kernel, you can simply run dracat and it's gonna generate for you the init ramfs. If it complained like this, simply add the argument force. I will cancel the process since I do have functional init ramfs. In your case, you may need to run this command. And then the next command should be grab. This is the command to have a new menu, or to make your grab point to the newly generated image for the kernel and the init ramfs. Run this command and then reboot your system, and then come back to me to go to the next step. Okay, next step is simply installing nftables. I'm gonna run it now. Let me exit out of the root user, since once you restart your system you will have the normal user like me. So I prefer to have a verbose output to know if there are any parameters, to know also the use flags, the stuff to download and stuff like that. Password. I believe I have okay. Yes, press Y here, enter. Okay, here it says that we need to run rc service nftable save. In the video of IP tables, which is gonna be uploaded with this one, I ran this same command for IP tables, although the wiki says that we have the option for such thing. So let's run it. Sudo yes. Since we have in the wiki something that says that we should replace IP tables with nftables, we can assume that we can build, just like we can build firewall D, which we did a video about, the last video before I upload these two videos. The last video was about firewall D, and I have enabled the support for nftables and IP tables with the use flags. We can have only one of them. In my case, I'm gonna go with nftables. And I'm gonna disable IP tables as a service. So I do have that enabled already in my system, and I guess we simply go with one of nftables or IP tables. I will disable also IP6 tables since it is related to IP tables, and the wiki says that we need to replace it, which means something like that. So we do rc service as root, of course, IP tables stop. Same thing for IP6 tables. You don't need to run these commands in case you did not install IP tables already. You didn't, or you didn't enable them. Enable it as well as IP6 tables. So I believe they come pre-installed with your system. If you did not do anything about it, you're not gonna have the services enabled. The next thing is to disable them for boot by running the command delete nftables and then IP6 tables. And then the next thing is to start the service of nftables. We simply do some changes to the command, and then we add nftables to the default run level. Add nftables, assuming that we need to replace IP tables with it. It means at least disabling IP and IP6 tables default, and then we can check our RC status, and we can see that we have our nftables enabled, as well as our firewall D, which was already enabled before. Anything else we need to do? Just to tell you, in case you're using Gentoo with system D, you run these commands already. And then let's make base table. Yes, we need to run the command as root. Yes, that's for inet. And now for ARP sudo with this, enter. Then you can list the tables. This is some configurations that you may make anytime and change the way you like. So let's run it again as root. We have inet firewall D, inet base table. Firewall D was made already, since it was made itself after the installation of firewall D. You may not have it, don't bother about it. In case you didn't, you can configure nftables alone solely like this. Yeah, let's run this one. This is, you don't need to run all these commands, just to see just to explore in general your configurations. So I guess the base table is I don't think it's a problem already. I don't know. If you think it's a problem, tell me. Yes. So we need to accept LO, which is loopback interface. You can continue with the configurations following the wiki or add your own configurations. In my case, I guess that's it. I believe that nftables is installed already and configured correctly. As I guess if I made any mistake or there is something wrong about my configurations, of course you could comment it down below for this video or any other video. And for this video, I guess it has come to an end. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, like, share and comment, and see you in another video.